Go for it.
It's that time again. It's time to sit down where the Gen Xers and the Millennials get together and we put our minds together and we come up with solutions that matter. I am the Majestic Ape. My man CJ is the man. He's the master of the flux capacitor. And we're joined by none other than Rob, the future, and AKA Jack, the Hitman Caroselli. What's going on, guys?
It's kind of like
It's going good. It's going good.
Brett, the Hitman Hart over here. We got.
That's it, bro. That's it. Caroselli's got that mob look about him. Like you just know he's a button man.
The name.
You just know he's.
If I slick back my hair, I look like an assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really do. I'm like, oh my god.
I don't know if there's many fat assassins if that works well, but
Hey. None of that here, bro. All you need is
gotta be graceful.
You need nice.
You know, Jack's got some piano wire in his back pocket. That's how I like to take dudes out. Come up behind them with a piano wire.
Slowly and softly, they just fade out.
Yeah.
Oh man, CJ, what we got going on today with these guys, man? And there's a lot of things to cover.
Yeah, a lot of things to cover, and we'll just jump right into it. I think the topic that's on everyone's minds right now is this whole
Except Rob's.
Except for
yeah, he was watching Logan while the biggest darkest secret of the deep state was being dropped.
I'm gonna spoil the movie.
Yeah, don't you dare.
But I'll say that.
Just go ahead and say it, Rob. You might as well let the audience know what happened. Go ahead. Watch Logan.
Character with 3 claws out of both of his arms dies.
Oh, you just ruined it. Everyone's mad.
Who could it be?
Everyone's mad.
It's his daughter.
Did you guys hear that? Rob went to go see Logan, and Logan died. That's the movie right there.
Yeah,
ruined it for me, bro.
It's
a great movie. Still, go see it. Go see it.
Hey, look at it. He saved me $15.
Charles died too.
Yeah,
so
and you have to
Charles
buy the
Xavier
popcorn. That's
also.
$97 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so WikiLeaks drops this whole Vault 7. It kind of reveals the whole CIA and their covert operations, and they're basically have the capability of backdoors and into all of our iPads, our computers, our phones, anything that accesses wireless. So our smart TVs, that they have a stealth mode that basically it makes it look like the power is off, but the microphone is really recording. And you would think that there'd be a lot more uproar about this, that people would just be very upset. People would be ticked off, but I don't see it. It's like people are they immune to it? Do they even care that the government is spying on us? I mean what's up with that?
It's this brave new world that we're entering, I think. I think that's the best way to describe it.
I think people are desensitized to it.
Yeah.
Because the whole NSA thing, like that was the thing a while ago. And I'm sure libertarians are super mad about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm angry about it. I just haven't heard a lot about it because I assume most people, and I'm sure CNN isn't going to report on it too much.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to open up and be like, hey, look what they can do now. Like, a dumb society is an easy society to control. So that's probably why you don't hear it a lot.
It hasn't been a big worry with people because they're like, well, yeah, someone could be spying on me, but this is my TV, which I get enjoyment out of, and this is my iPhone, and I love my iPhone. So why would I ever get rid of it because people are spying on me? Like people they're obsessed with their technology.
And I would assume the average person would probably assume that, of course, I'm not being spied on. What would I?
Yeah, what would I
have
to do?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, that's what I always thought. That's what I still think. It's like, what? I mean, what?
I don't know about you guys, but like, I'm kind of like, what's the word? Not superstition.
Paranoid?
Paranoid about like doing stuff in front of my TV, like because I always heard that like people they could see you through the TV, so like.
Yep.
Like I don't like
1984.
I don't be naked walking around after the shower in front of my TV and all that junk.
Well, people can't tell that I'm naked anyway because I am a gorilla, so it's all right.
Right? Yeah. Well, and no one wants to look at me naked, so it doesn't matter. I mean, if the CIA guys can be like, "Oh my God, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, turn it to somebody else."
That's funny.
This guy's fine.
Yeah.
Specifically, it looks like they targeted the Samsung F8000 smart TV.
That's a good one. One of their best sellers.
So the crazy part about that is like you could turn off your TV, but it wouldn't be off.
Yeah.
If the CIA wanted to, it would listen. Oh, it would listen in on everything, and then if you try to turn off your TV, it would look off. It's a fake off. It's crazy.
So what if you unplug it? If you unplug it, can they still do that? Or
I mean, no, most
Okay.
people they can't because it doesn't have power. But most people aren't going to do that.
right. Well, there you go, folks. That's your solution. Unplug
Unplug
all your
all your stuff.
I'm very
Solutions
worried.
matter.
I mean, I
How
got my
would you solve
Nintendo.
that problem with these phones?
Well, you can't, man, because if you look at most phones right now, batteries are all encased in there.
Yeah, and they have
Right.
two
You
cameras.
can't take the battery out unless you got like an LG V20, a V10, or a G5, or
Don't have
they're
those.
the only
Well,
phone company that was making, you could take out the battery. But no, you're pretty much screwed. I mean, they could turn on any mic, and the whole thing is this. I mean, is the NSA got their little snoopy, grimy fingers into everything? Yeah, they do. The funny thing is, I've talked to these guys who've worked for the NSA, and one of the things that they've said, and this is all declassified, this section of it, is when they created Prism, which is what Snowden released to the world. Hey, we got this system called Prism. It allows them to hack into everything. They read all the emails. They wiretap everyone. When Snowden released that, what was really needed to get fleshed out a little bit is this: the problem the NSA has, they have such a data trough. Like it's like they're kind of like trolling. What I was told is they were kind of like trolling the ocean floor bottom, right? You're trolling the ocean floor bottom. Now you got all this trash. You got everybody's penis pictures. You got everybody's emails, their text messages, and all that.
Oh yeah.
But tens of petaflops of data that's in the CIA's servers, right? But they don't have the manpower or the software to go through every single one of them. So they collected all this junk. They're like, okay, now what do we do? So that was the idea that we got. And for most people, you got to understand what the ramification of Vault 7 was. Most Americans are not going to care because, again, they're indifferent. They're more like, oh my God, Nicki Minaj has a feud with somebody called Remy Ma. Like that's their
They're more
that's
focused.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's their news of the day. That's their drama, what's going on in next week's drama? What's the next reality show? Blah, blah, blah. When is the football season? Who's going to get the pick? This, that, and the these are the things that are in the typical American's mind. So they're not connected to what's going on with these hacks. But that being said, there's an inverse to this. The inverse is you have a whole community of people that are like, wait a minute, wow, this is what's happening, and number one. Number two, everything, and we had if you guys get a chance to go listen to Wednesday's interview we did with this guy named Cliff High. Cliff High is freaking like a computer programmer. He developed this thing called WebBots. Just an amazing individual. Just go listen to that interview where he said them dropping this information on us on Vault 7, now me and programmers like me can develop computer and software countermeasures to completely neuter the CIA and the NSA snooping. That's number one. Number two, every single country out there. Now, we've learned because of Snowden that, people like Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, like her BlackBerry was getting wiretapped by the NSA. We figured that out from that Snowden disclosure, right? Now, every single country out there that's been a victim of NSA snooping, CIA snooping, now can develop the countermeasures to completely shut it down, okay? Secondly is this. What's this going to do with American tech companies now that the rest of the world's like, wait a minute, do I really want this iPhone?
Yeah.
Do I want this new phone that's coming out? Do I want to buy this new television if I know that there's a back door towards this?
Yeah.
So there's going to be a great deal of mistrust against American tech companies. And the other thing also is this. It's going to create a market where people are going to offer privacy solutions. And there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be jumping at it. That's the inverse of this whole entire thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you can provide, we're looking at an article right now at wired.co.uk, and it's talking about giving the tech companies the source code, exactly what you mean, being able to defend this now.
So Google, Apple, all of them.
Yeah.
I know Apple is completely dedicated to making sure the government is out of your iPhone.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
There's a lawsuit against them or a
like
lawsuit
the government wants
because they
access
want
to, like, what they're
into
trying to
people's
do.
phones and Apple won't do it.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
My biggest
And
thing.
the craziest and scariest part for me is that this stuff released in Vault 7 does imply that they can take control of cars.
Yes, they can.
Yeah, the vehicle
Which is
systems.
terrifying.
Yes, they can.
Which means they can make an accident. They can make something look like an accident, no problem.
Michael Hastings, man. Michael Hastings. Come on. That's exactly what happened to Mike. As soon as Michael Hastings' Merc exploded, okay, I knew exactly what was going on. Look, first and foremost, look. This is this is why I'm leery of like 2014 or newer. I'm very leery of it because when you're looking at car automotive systems, everything's automated. You have electric power steering now, where there's really no hydraulic or mechanical connection to the front wheels anymore. Okay, you have electronic throttle, you have electronic transmissions. Where think about it. All you're doing is you're just moving a little dial or a switch. There's no actual physical connection to the units.
Mhm.
All these things are hackable. There are people that are hacking Teslas left and right for fun. So this is the brave new world we're entering. Yeah, things are getting more automated, but it's huge problems. And that's one of the things that the CIA thing talked about, where you can hack cars, that are completely these automated cars, these cars that have these electric power steering systems, electric transmission systems. And the other thing that people that didn't mention, you could also hack aircraft.
Ooh,
Make them crash into stuff.
Yep.
So let me say this. This may get us in trouble, all of us, the 5 of us.
I'm already screwed, so go for it.
Yeah, they're probably already listening on this conversation.
Oh well,
because
I love Hillary Clinton. I love Hillary Clinton. Just repeat that offer over and over again.
great woman. I love her new haircut.
It actually does look all right on her. I tweeted about. I think it actually looks nice.
She's a human being.
Yeah. So
she's a human being. We are
a robot, but
she's definitely not a lizard.
Here's the thing I got.
Nope, not at all.
I think our government, like the Justice League, has become too powerful, and we may need to take over the Justice League.
So you're saying we need a Suicide Squad?
Oh,
in a way,
I like it.
I think it's us 5.
It's got to be us.
I have to be that one guy that doesn't really. Was it Croc?
And do you guys think this that probably sounds stupid though, but taking over the government, even though it'll never happen unless. But what I'm thinking is, does this Vault 7 stuff have to do anything with the Trump tappings or phone?
Yeah, brilliant.
What do you guys think?
Well, brilliant question. But
what's going on with the Trump stuff?
People keep thinking the guy's an idiot. He knows how to play the media. Case in point. Oh, it's terrible what's going on in Sweden, he says on his conference thing, right? And all of a sudden, the media jumped in. There's nothing going on in Sweden. Sweden's perfectly great. Meanwhile, the media has no freaking clue that Sweden's rape is up 1,300%, in rape. I mean, it's what?
Yeah, Sweden is the rape capital of the West now. And people talk about rape culture. Sweden is the only place where the rates of what people say rape culture is actually exists.
Exactly. Well said, Saul. And the fact that you have 2% of the population, which are these Muslim migrants, committing 80% of the rape. I mean, it's asinine, right? So as soon as Trump says that, everybody's jumping down and what's he talking about? Sweden? And then you have that idiot Don Lemonhead on CNN. Where Don Lemonhead is out there saying there's nothing going on in Sweden. Look at the facts. I'm
gonna get started on.
And then boom, Rinkeby goes into riots. Malvo goes into riots. These are no-go neighborhoods. I mean, we've seen plenty of videos on YouTube where if you're a Westerner, you ain't going into those neighborhoods. Period. Okay. Yeah. Like I got friends of mine who got relatives in the UK and whatnot. They're like, yeah, I can't even go to Bradford in England. There's no freaking way. I have like a friend of mine who's Sikh. They wear those turbans and for religious reasons, right? They're not Muslim. They're Sikh. Yeah. So they go into Bradford because it's a no-go. He goes, I'm looking to get beat up if I go there.
Right. Yeah.
Like there's rape gangs in Great Britain now.
Oh yeah, what's it called? Tumarash or Tugarash? I don't know. What's it called? It starts with a T.
I'm not sure about their exact names, but it's crazy over there. And like in Germany, the police don't even go into the east side of Germany anymore.
Yep.
Unless it's local.
Exactly. Big problem. So Trump, says that, and they jump down his throat, and then boom, everything he says is validated. The world's like, holy crap, he's right. Then he talks about over the weekend, Saturday morning at 6 a.m. My man's tweeting out, I've been wiretapped by Obama. Everybody jumps in, and they go in on him again, and then boom, Vault 7. It's like perfect timing every single time. Thursday we had an interview with Harley Schlanger. If you guys want to go listen to that interview with Harley Schlanger on Thursday, where he had meetings with European parliamentary members in the EU. They're all like, how's Trump doing this? They're all freaking out about it, because it's like their whole world view that these crazy far left-wing leftists had is literally crumbling in front of their face, man. Yeah. So, this Vault 7 kind of puts the whole idea, number one, it's giving the people abroad, hey, we can't trust U.S. tech, and we've got to develop countermeasures to this. And number two, at home, amongst many of the political elites, amongst those that are awake, amongst those who are freedom-minded, now is the time we're saying, okay, you know what, we need to finish what Kennedy started, which is basically smashing the CIA into 1,000 pieces and casting it into the wind.
Yes.
You know what's weird too? These tweets with Trump, I never would have thought Donald Trump would have been like the president who started the whole president tweeting thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like Barack Obama had his personal Twitter.
Well,
no one talked about it, and Trump tweets all the time, and it makes news. It's weird. It's
weird. At
weird.
the same time, the Trump is in a very unique position where, Obama started before Twitter was huge.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
he just carried over the habit of not really using Twitter that much.
Yeah.
Trump, on the other hand, Twitter was the reason he got elected. If anything.
Yeah.
He played the media so well that he saved so much on advertisement. It's genius. And so I think this is the first chance we're getting to see a tweeting president. And I personally think that he might need to shut his mouth sometimes, but for the most part, I think he's pretty good.
Right. I mean, yeah, go on to a Twitter rant. I mean, I ran on Twitter all the time. And if you're in a position of power like that, there's no doubt you're going to be picked apart for whatever you say.
Yeah.
But to your point, he says things and everyone's like, no, you're an idiot. And now twice in a row, something has come out.
My thing
that makes him look quite the contrary.
I see what he's doing. It's genius. I think I know what he's doing.
Do you think he knows about what leaks are going to happen?
He wants to make the national government less powerful in terms of versus the states. So what he's doing is he's saying things. People are saying no, and then what he's saying is actually true, so that he's giving people that know about it the chance to uncover it for everybody else, so that distrust in the government does happen. And then
not only and also the other narrative too is in regards to the media, right? The fake media that has pretty much been weaponized by the federal government to condition us to accept basically whatever narrative they want to do. So he's completely circumventing the media now. He's taking the message directly to the American people. And you see, ironically enough, that the media has a trust rating, that's the equivalent of Congress.
Oh yeah.
So that's by design. But this whole thing with the spying and everything that's going on is that, as far as socially in society, I think that part of social media and Twitter and Snapchat and Facebook, all those things, I think that people are like, again, this is just what I'm thinking, that they're like, I'm putting everything out there anyway. I'm putting everything out there I do anyway. They already know. So do I even care? And in the society, we should care that our government is involved in these things and gathering that data. One thing that I thought of too is that, what happens when you go into a restaurant or somewhere with any type of public Wi-Fi is that, I wonder what the heck that they have programmed into their Wi-Fi of what they're extracting from our phones as you're connected onto their public Wi-Fi's.
I have some experience with this. There's
you are a developer.
Yeah, so there exists a little device called a pineapple.
Ooh, is that like a Raspberry Pi kind of deal?
Kind of. It's a fake router. It's a fake public Wi-Fi. It disguises itself as like Starbucks or whatever you want it to, and then when you connect to it, it hacks you.
Oh.
Not immediately, but it just puts a file on your phone for later if you need it.
That's pretty slick. Trump is in such a position, and I want to talk about the updated travel ban for a second.
Go for it.
Because I'm at the point where, I've said my pieces about Trump and my grievances with him, but I swear he could donate $3 billion to, Children of HIV Fund, and the media will find something negative about it.
Yes.
It's at the point he even backed off of some of the quote unquote worst parts of the travel ban. What are we at now? He took away Iraq, so Iraqis can now migrate back in. Mm-hmm. Is that which countries got dropped from the travel ban? I think is it 6? Yeah, so Iraq is gone from it. He even is protecting the people with the work visas and everything like that. And it's still at the point where no one can just be satisfied.
Yeah.
He has backed off from the, even if you have a visa, it doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. It's people are still calling it a Muslim ban, and because they're like, well, it's still from 6 Muslim majority countries. Well, yeah, that's where the
problem is coming from.
It would be pointless to
make it terrorism.
Right. It would be pointless to ban refugees coming from Chile. Like that's not a thing. So to say that it's Muslim majority, so it's a ban on Muslims. No, it's a ban on everybody from there.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was it for 90 days or 180 days?
I think it was 90 days.
Yeah, 90 days. If these people weren't doing things like San Bernardino and 9/11 and all these other things, I know it was like a bunch of years ago, but if they weren't doing these things, then people wouldn't be afraid to let them into their countries.
Right. And dude, here's another thing, man. Let's get real about this whole Muslim thing, okay? Yeah. My thing is this. We got videos of like hidden videos of Islamic schools that are in the UK. Like these are like Islamic private schools that you can send your little, Muslim kid to. We got hidden cameras where the teachers are teaching them. So when the infidel leaves the faith of Islam, what do we do? And the kids are responding back, we kill them. We kill them. So if one man is a sodomite, what do we do? We kill them.
Dude,
we kill them. That's right.
And that's what I and I'll go back to this point again. I was for a time of the Islamic faith, and I'm here to tell you, I don't care what they say. There are some great Muslims out there, but the book is not a peaceful book.
No, hell no. Because my thing is this: if it's such a religion of peace, I mean, last year we had 452 suicide bombings, out of which 450 were committed by Muslims. If it's such a damn religion of peace, why is every psychopath in the world attracted to the damn book?
Yeah. I mean, their prophet is a warlord.
The prophet's a sicko.
The Christian prophet was a carpenter, and he was hated by Romans.
Yeah.
I mean, even the Bible has its flaws. We can agree.
The Old Testament has its flaws.
Oh, the Old Testament.
The New Testament says that doesn't matter.
God loves you.
God loves you.
That's
the difference there.
Which is
a huge
great.
Difference.
I mean, religion should only ever just be about inner peace and love. But to say that Islam is a religion of peace,
it's not even a religion; it's a political ideology.
Yeah, it's not even. If you interpret the book that skewed, you're insane. If you tell me that your interpretation of the Quran is peaceful, just like if you tell me your interpretation of the Old Testament is, well, it was the times and the culture. No, okay, it's messed up. The stuff in the Old Testament is messed up. The stuff in the Quran.
I mean, the point is this: at least we're smart enough to know, hey, man, this Old Testament stuff, that was at a time was a barbaric time in human history.
Right. Yeah.
We get it. We've moved on. We're reformed.
Yeah.
We're clear-thinking modern human beings.
These
guys are still stuck in some first-century barbarism.
Yeah,
like there's no advancement. I like you when like you read their hadiths and you read the Quranic version, verses. The first thing the Muzzies will tell you, oh, you're not reading the right one. It's being misinterpreted. You got to read the Arabic one. Well, then overlay the Arabic one and the English one, and it's absolutely friggin' identical. Number one. Number two, their hadiths actually says, you know what? If you got to lie to an infidel to win their trust, to make you comfortable, then you do it. And that's why you got these crazy Islamic women out there saying, yeah, there's no difference between the U.S. Constitution and Sharia law. Oh, yeah, there's no, Islam is such a feminist religion. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
That Islam it has the least respect for women of any culture, of any religion.
Tell that to the Muslim girls that are in like Kenya, North Africa, and the Middle East that are having their clitorises removed.
Yeah, those are
tell that to them.
Feminism. Yeah. America is any woman here who thinks they're really being oppressed, go over there and you tell me if you're being oppressed.
Yeah, you got a pretty
nice. Go over there.
Because you picked an arts degree, you're getting less money than the guy who went into a science and engineering degree, and you're being oppressed. They don't get jobs. They don't get education. They get killed for having sex with a guy.
They get killed for having fun in general.
They get killed for not having the full burqa.
Yeah.
If you show your hair, you could get stoned. And that's oppression.
And the crazy part.
That's where we need feminism.
The crazy part to me is that all these whenever somebody immigrates to a new country, right, they usually want to immigrate to that new country to adopt that country's standards of living.
Correct.
That is the exact opposite in the Muslim faith. Muslim immigrants come here and they're like, we need to make this more like our country, our shithole that we come from.
Which is
exactly.
Because that's like when you travel to a different state, you're like, oh, this isn't like. Then why'd you travel? If you don't want to explore new heights and find new things and new experiences, don't come here if you're going to try to make it like Saudi Arabia. Like that's stupid.
Exactly.
Saudi Arabia is a total authoritarian monarchy. Am I right?
Here's also the other thing. Have you guys you've read the latest from Pew Research, where they took 3 of the most populous Islamic countries, and it was Indonesia, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, 3 of the most populous Islamic countries. And the Pew Research was done in 39 countries with 80,000 Muslims. That's a friggin' huge research. So the cross-section that you can get out of there is tremendous. Like 80% almost were all in favor of Sharia law. 90-some-odd%, especially in the most populous Muslim countries, believe that you can kill an infidel if they leave the Islamic faith.
Yeah.
I mean, this is completely incompatible with Western civilization, number one. Number two, there is incredible research that's been done by Israel, that's been done by India, where these are nations that have Islamic populations within them, and they're finding a great deal of Muslims are actually inbred. Okay, that is a God-honest truth. And if you look at it, I think it was about, they did the study in Pakistan, it was like 60% of Pakistani young couples are first cousins. And then you read the symptoms of what happens when you have inbred kids. A propensity to it's like what Gavin McGinnis once said, CJ. It's like reading off the check marks for ISIS. I mean, it's the same behaviors, you know?
And there's been people that have tried, and this is the real shame of it, what they call the progressive Muslims that are actually trying to transform some of it, and what happens is they get completely shut down. They get looked at. They say absolutely not, and it just there's no tolerance regarding that. It's either one way, and there's no transforming it. It's not open for discussion.
Right. I mean,
it's not at all
open. We're looking at Afghanistan, 99% in support of Sharia law. Iraq, 91. Pakistan, 84. Lebanon and Jordan. Okay, not Lebanon.
Even
Lebanon, whatever.
In
they're in the 80s. And then you have Turkey
Egypt
and Kazakhstan,
like
Azerbaijan, and the smaller.
And Turkey's pretty liberal.
Imagine the progressive Muslim in Afghanistan. What that looks like. You're the 1%.
Looks like a gravestone.
You know what though? Nike's Solving it all for us. Nike.
Oh yeah, they got the Nike hijab now.
Yeah, they have the.
That's good.
Nike.
I saw that on Snapchat.
Have you seen it, V?
Wow, no, I haven't seen them.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, somebody posted a picture that said it had the hijab and had the Nike swoosh, and it said Nike, just do it. And then underneath it said, as long as your husband gives you permission.
The Nike hijab. Look at this nonsense.
Are you seeing it now?
Get the hell out of here. Look, this is the most regressive culture. This is the most pathetic, disgusting, oppressive culture on God's green earth. It's got to go.
Yeah.
Okay, this obsolete piece of crap. Look, let me tell you this. I've said this before. The only countries where Muslims shut the hell up and get along with everybody else is the countries that they know that if they stood up, they're gonna get effed up. If they stood up, and so they behave themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. These people do not assimilate. I don't care if I sound racist. These people do not assimilate. They come to take over.
I don't think it's racism.
No.
I think that's statistics.
No, that's
Yes.
that's that. But
it's not
but
our fault.
but whenever
that you have that
statistics-
reputation,
whenever
and you
statistics
do
don't
that.
work for liberals, it's not statistics.
Right.
Statistics
Exactly.
don't matter. No, that's
Yeah, we've had that discussion
liberals are
about
so
the
anti-science in
black
that way.
crime
It's
in
horrible.
Chicago. The black crime and liberals in Chicago saying Black Lives Matter. Well, you realize in America, what is it? The percentage blacks make up about 13%, yet account for about 50% of the homicides.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, it was like 12% of the population that commits.
crimes.
And all of this, it's not because of their race specifically, right? It's about the culture within
Correct.
communities.
right?
It's not racism; it's the culture that's happening, as Ben Shapiro would put it.
Yeah.
And this is just a problem that in America, at least, the government needs to take steps, police the areas, and and help rehabilitate
Yeah.
the cultures.
Yeah, there's a
Price
there's a
song.
great podcast you guys need to check out. Joe Rogan posted it, and it's called "The Left Is No Longer Liberal." And here at Rogue Money, we are no longer calling them the Democratic Party or no longer even liberal or traditional libertarians. It's just the party's been completely transformed, and that's what unfortunately what a lot of traditional Democrats don't understand is that it's not the party that you grew up with regarding JFK and democracy and what true liberalism is. It's become more of a fascist organization where collective community, that there's no difference in opinion, that everyone has to have the same beliefs, the same thought process, and they shun anything that's any different than that. Almost similar to what with what the Muslims, and probably that's why they align around that religion so much.
Yeah. I think like the old Democrats, like the JFKs and the Bobby Kennedys, like those type of Democrats, I feel were the best ones because like they like the right and the left back then weren't so far away from each other as far as political ideologies.
Right.
Like they could sit in the same room, agree with something or even disagree, but they were still kind of close along the same track. I saw a video of what was it? Oh, I forgot his name, but he was a famous Democrat. He ran against Ronald Reagan or Bush Sr., one of those two. And he was more harsh on immigration than I think Ronald Reagan was when they both were running for president. So back then, like the sides were more similar.
Right. I mean,
I think that made our country better.
Yeah, today's Democrats are the 80s and 70s moderates. I think I said that backwards. Did I say that
That didn't
backwards?
sound right.
Today's moderates are the 70s and 80s Democrats. That's what I meant to say. Nowadays, Democrats are not the same Democrats that were in JFK's time. Now, those people are considered moderate.
And what we have today is the libtards and
Different. But the Democrats are not the same. Like when there was that switch in like the early 1900s, it was where like everyone switched, flip-flopped, because it was like the Democratic Republican Party.
Oh yeah.
And then
what say? What flip flop? What are you talking about?
like I don't know if it was in the 1800s or the 1900s where it was like there was a Democratic Republican Party and then there was like a Federalist or the Whigs.
There's the Whigs.
I'm
and the
getting it mixed
Republicans.
up in my head, but
Then
it was a
when-
long time ago.
Then when Lincoln got elected,
because Lincoln was a Republican,
Yeah, it was the first Republican president.
right? So and I think that's when.
Oh,
'cause-
I'm sorry. Yeah, it was the Whigs and Democrats. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah,
I think
I'm
what
losing it here.
Jack, I think what you're referring to is kind of the social thing of how when Lincoln was president or whatever, Republicans were pro freedom,
Right.
like of slavery,
And
that
there's-
kind of stuff.
They're still pro freedom.
Yeah, well, they are.
Right,
They
but
are.
the
But their
connotation.
the perception of Republicans is traditional, not like forward as the Democrats.
Progressive.
Yeah.
They're all xenophobic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like the old perspective of Republicans in the 1800s, I guess, was let's free the slaves, keep the country together, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
the whole Republican Party started on an anti-slavery platform. That's how it started.
Yeah,
And
right.
That party started with many Democrats killing them.
Yeah,
You know, and the Democratic Party was the party of slaves. It's
yeah.
the party of slavery.
Like the Ku Klux Klan was founded by
Right.
the Democratic Party. Like those were judges
Right.
in the white robes, hanging black people. Those
Correct.
were Democratic judges.
Oh, but people say those are different times.
Yeah, people say
Yeah.
well, those are different times and the roles are
Bunch
switched.
of nonsense. Nothing in the hierarchy of the Democratic Party has switched. They still have their Judas goats. These are the race baiters, like your Al Sharptons, your Jesse Hyde Jacksons, and your Keith Ellisons of the world. They keep they figured out how to create a plantation politics, a neo-feudalism where they keep minorities down, and because of the simple fact that they have the media working for them.
Yep.
The media has done a great job of making it somehow flipping the image of, oh, the Democrats are for minorities and they love everybody, and the Republicans are a bunch of hateful white guys.
The Republican Party started on the premises of freedom.
Right.
The
Exactly.
Democratic Party was and continues to be the party of control.
Oh,
Exactly.
I mean,
1,000%.
hold minorities back under the disguise of defense.
By giving them free money.
Yeah, stand
Yeah, give
behind me.
welfare and
I got
stuff.
this because
Yeah.
I know you can't handle it. It's basically
Yeah.
the Democratic Party.
Which is their love for radical
We
Islam.
love them.
They love radical Islam. Did you guys read this letter that a Muslim woman from Egypt has written? It was an open letter to the Western world. Did you guys hear about that?
No, I have not.
I'm going to read it real quick, man. It says this. Her name is Magda Borham, but of course she changed her name for safety reasons. Now, she lives in Egypt, okay? And she wrote this letter to the Western world. And she's somebody who's in Egypt that's trying to get the hell out. Check this out. She said, Islam is not like any other religion. Islam is a supremacist, racist, political, and social ideology wrapped in a thin peel of religious rituals. It seeks domination and supremacy over all other systems and religions. Islam is worse than Nazism and fascism systems combined without any doubt. She continues, Muslims are in your country, but they live not to integrate or to be part of your society or at least be equal with others, but to dominate and to be the only privileged group. Muslims achieve this by turning you into a second-class citizen in your own country. They immigrate to your countries holding the same belief systems that turn their lives into hell on earth. This same belief, same religion, made their lives unsupportable in their original societies. It is the same religion that transformed their countries into war zones of endless conflicts. Muslims, now homeless, want to apply this system and live and apply the same destruction in your own country. Muslims are not in your country to help build it or to make it prosper. Many believe this, including politicians. Muslims are in your country to drain its resources, to suck the blood out of society. For example, Muslims represent the majority of all your country's welfare recipients. A real Muslim's loyalty is not and will never be your country's, but to the global Islamic Ummah or the nation only. At this point, please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that all Muslims are bad, but we have no choice but to take care of them all because they all believe totally in this evil ideology. But they do all believe in an evil man, a warlord, the Prophet of Islam. That is a woman who wrote that, bro.
And is she's Muslim or whatever?
She's Muslim. She was Muslim. She woke up and trying to get the hell out, like that North African Islamic girl, in Sweden who was doing a movie with Van Gogh, and then they killed Van Gogh. Remember that? It was a couple of years ago in I think in Amsterdam or something like that. Mm-hmm. And she's come out vocally against Islam. I mean, you can't. This is what we need. We need like Islamic people to the ones that are awake, the ones who are like socially liberal, who are secular. We can be like, yo, this is some archaic, barbaric stuff in this book. Let's just take some of the good parts out and let's just get rid of the bad parts. Let's not practice that crap and put that in proper context.
Yep.
Right.
But dude, instead of that, all you hear is crickets.
Why can't we have more?
Because you can't like do anything. You can't make a drawing without getting killed.
Yeah, for real, man. Without them coming into your magazine and shooting it up.
Why?
Yeah.
What I'm wondering is like, why can't we just have more Muhammad Ali type of Muslims? Like, that aren't like kill everybody and do all this bad stuff. Like, let's actually have some that actually try to stand up for other people's community. And if they are out there, they need to speak up. Like, there are good Muslims out there, but they're not speaking up enough against those who are not doing good.
Yeah, those people are the people who say, wow, we aren't like that. Someone should say something. Say something, you know?
Yeah. And the best thing they could do. Yeah, exactly.
I love seeing, you know, Muslim celebrities. I love seeing, because, you know, most of the, you know, Muslim celebrities are the people who aren't really too into, they're not very traditional Muslims. They're a very liberal brand of Muslim that might not even exist really in these Middle Eastern countries.
Yeah, except for that Muslim actor was, I think, a little off base, though, when he stated that if more Muslims don't start getting leading roles and things in movies, that they're going to turn to ISIS. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, join ISIS, so then you can get killed by Russian Spetsnaz.
Sorry to interrupt you,
my
Jack. Go ahead.
No, absolutely. I'm really sad that someone is that dumb. I mean, that's another example of the slippery slope. I mean, just you know, that's what I hate the most in politics and in religion, the slippery slope. I hate it. People who say, well, and first it's this, and then it's that. Like when gay marriage first started being talked about, I just remember people talking about, oh, well, first it's the same sex, and then it's going to be interspecies. I'm like, what are you talking about? No one, no one cares. It's a national security issue to the people who think that we're over here hating on Muslims. It's not that we hate the people. It's we hate the ideas that they're trying to hurt us.
Yeah,
that's all it is. This travel ban is not to crap all over these people. We understand that, you know, some of these people who live in these countries are victims of circumstance. We completely get that, but it's a risk that we aren't willing to take because, like you said, only 2 of the hundreds of suicide bombings that happened last year were non-Muslim. 2 of them were non-Muslim.
So, Jack, let me ask you, what's the solution?
I mean, the solution is to keep this travel ban. People are fighting back. You have to keep it.
Yep.
You have to keep
Extreme vetting works.
Yeah. You be
like
very careful of who you let in.
Yeah.
I don't know. We still have a few minutes. I kind of want to mention North Korea real quick. Because we've been talking about national security, and this is one that not a lot of people talk about. They keep on with these missile tests. And another thing, when they do these missile tests, we have the world leaders saying, well, this is inappropriate. It's internationally illegal to keep this nuclear program, and someone's got to do something. Okay. They've been doing this for like 2.5, 3 years at least. So stop saying somebody's got to do something and either just blow them up or, you know, I'm sick and tired of hearing people, oh, we're going to deploy the anti-air missile system and just in case they try to attack South Korea. Okay, I have no sympathy for Kim Jong-un. He's an awful person who's trying to take over the East. And if you're listening, Kim Jong, I hate you. He wouldn't be. They don't even have internet over there. Jesus Christ.
Except for him.
Except for him. He's got internet, but he's definitely not watching.
Yeah,
because he likes basketball.
Kim, we didn't mean that.
Oh, I meant it.
We did.
I meant it.
I didn't mean that. I have nothing to do with it.
My solution for this is that someone in Washington's got to have some balls. Because no one's talking about this. And I don't know if it's that they just don't want to or that they don't take them seriously. I don't know which one it is.
Or they're afraid.
The big issue here is that they're allied with Big Brother China.
Exactly.
And that, like, we're just waiting for China to drop them.
And, you know, even China recently has been saying, hey, you need to slow this down.
Yep.
And when I was waiting for that, too. When China says that, North Korea, you have to slow down. I mean, I'm sorry that Big Brother China and, you know, police of the world, United States, sorry, but everyone hates that. Mm-hmm. You have to quit or and to me, there is no real threat. Sure you have some missiles that could go. Russia and us, I would assume, are on each other's side. Yeah. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I think we're
But if we were to get into a war with North Korea, there would be no chance. We have at least the second largest nuclear arsenal. I'm sure Russia's got some more than us, but don't even try to mess with us. Like, I'm not trying to act cocky, but it's, people in Washington act as if we're like Canada, where we have some other big country like defending us. I'm pretty sure we could tackle China as well.
Yeah, let's not start
I wouldn't
with
say
them.
so. I think.
Oh wait, you said? Did you just say tackle China?
Yeah.
No, we're not going to tackle China.
That I think, but I also think China is diplomatic. We could talk it out with them.
Well,
Yeah.
China's
North
slowly.
Korea's like, oh, we're going to shoot our Nerf missile over there. Here it comes. It's a big foam thing. It's going to blast off. Like, everyone makes fun of it. And I don't know if the people in Washington don't take it seriously, and that's why nothing's been done, or if I don't know if they're scared. I don't understand. I couldn't see it being either one, to be honest. If you're not
China.
It's got to be. I mean, and now we're close because the missile tests keep happening. China's telling them to slow down. If they don't slow down, then they're screwed. And I don't know what to do about the citizens who live there. That's got to be another one of those Egypt, the lady who lives there in Egypt situations where it's like, how many people there are awake? How many people there are like, this is awful. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the old solution, just in terms of China and why they continue to do this with this military test and everything, is typically they do it whenever they want something. They're always either wanting food, money.
They want rice, man.
They want rice. They need something. So China just throws money at it. Stop doing that. Here's $1 billion in aid. Here's $2 billion in aid, and they continue. And then when they get low on money again, they're like, okay, we're going to fire up our missiles again and do it. And it's just a rewarding system of bad behavior. But there an unfortunate part. I mean, between North and South Korea, I mean, the history of it, is it like World War after World War II, that because it was Japan controlled the peninsula, right? Leading up to World War II, right? And then after World War II is when somebody had this brilliant idea. We're going to split it and make North and South, and North is going to be this dominated by Soviet Union, and the South is going to be United States. I mean, it just didn't make any sense at all. So the poor citizens, you're right. The citizens are the ones that having to deal with these madmen that operate the government there. But they're going to continue to do it. I don't know why it doesn't ever get dealt with. Probably primarily because China's role, and China has the ability to influence North Korea if they really want to.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, Kim Jong-un is going to be dealt with, and he will be removed from power. They gave him a chance, both President Xi Jinping as well as Vladimir Putin, with the building of the New Silk Road, to have North Korea a little part of it with a pipeline deal. But the fact of the matter is, they see that Kim Jong-un is completely mentally unstable. The fact that this guy killed his half-brother in an international airport in Malaysia, out in the open in front of everybody, taking VX gas or something like that, some sort of a nerve agent, which is a weapon of mass destruction, smuggling into an international airport and having his own half-brother taken out, showed the world how nut job North Korea is. Now, they got to understand, this is an army in sneakers. 90% of the North Korean military will drop their guns and run for their lives. They will collapse from within. It's all held together by fear. The reason why China's traditionally stood by North Korea is back in the Cold War days, North Korea was the buffer that China had against South Korea and Japan. But that's no longer necessary, since South Korea and Japan are once again being, favorably trading with China. They have no problems, they have no beef. So now you have this North Korea situation where China gets a great deal of its coal imports from. Well, Xi Jinping, after this last the attack on when Kim Jong-un killed his half-brother, China said, okay, we're banning all coal imports. So there's no coal importation from North Korea going into China, which puts a great deal of pressure on Kim Jong-un's power. It's starting to bring a lot of pressure because now they're starting to economically crack him.
Yeah.
So they will deal with this nut job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have faith. And I do think it's kind of weird. I haven't heard a lot of Donald Trump speaking on it, which is different because he often speaks on China. But I don't know.
That's the art of the deal, my friend.
Right. Yeah. I think soon he'll start talking about it a little more. But yeah, I have faith that something will happen fairly. I mean, I would say in Trump's presidency, something's going to go down over there. I don't know what. What's going to happen if it's maybe a coup by the people, or if China will just go in and say, no, you're done. I don't know if the borders will change. I don't know what, but I do think it's going to change soon.
Yep. Or maybe we'll send someone over to interview him. You guys get that?
You guys are going. We're backing you guys up.
They should bring a Katy Perry CD.
Yeah.
Oh my
So-
Oh,
god!
I love that.
Nice, boys.
Yeah, great movie, by the way. I just got the joke now, man. It just hit
It
me.
was good. Yeah.
Rogan, though.
That's what we should do. Just get him a Katy Perry CD and somebody go into.
I'll trade you this
man.
Katy Perry CD for the whole of North Korea. From South Korea. Done.
Yeah.
Oh, and the tank.
Just give them an empty missile barrel, like with no explosives inside. Just be like, here, we have this brand new missile. Completely can blow up Japan. All of it. And then they're like, what, really? All you have to do is leave. All right, we got this big missile. Open it up, nothing in there. I don't know. I feel like I honestly, I don't know how smart they are over there.
Figure out the next couple months. Well, boys, it's been nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. It's always fun.
we'll
Yeah, I
have
used to follow a North Korea publication, but unfortunately hasn't been updated since 2013.
Probably get it.
The government shut it down.
Yeah. Working on a big one.
Unreal.
Oh man.
Vault Un.
Well, I'll go on and give us a little shameless plug. You can
Go ahead,
find
do
us
your thing.
at _SM_podcast. That is _SM_podcast on Twitter. Jack, what's your Twitter?
Caroselli _Jack. This will be, if you're watching on Solutions Matter, that'll be in the description. But it's CAROSELLI _Jack.
Yeah. So mine is at Real Robert Jones and Saul.
Because he's real.
I'm Saul Garza, editor and sound guy.
Sound guy.
You can find me on Twitter at _Saul_Garza.
Yeah. So check it out.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, CJ.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find us at roguemoney.net, at the Rogue Money on Twitter. I have one producer, CJ1, that you can follow me on Twitter as well. And obviously our YouTube channel is Rogue Money. Yeah, so lots of fun today, guys. Really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm excited for the next show too. I'm sure there'll be some more openings.
It's still okay to call you guys, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be?
Well, you
They-
know,
they haven't
is that acceptable in the school systems today?
Oh yeah. I just want to make sure we're using the right pronouns here.
Oh yeah. I'm actually.
I mean,
I'll
if
have
you
to
go on
make up a
Facebook,
pronoun.
there's like 52 to choose from, so just want to make sure.
They're
Yeah.
really
Oh, right. Yeah, just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I need to run. All right, with that being said, guys, I'm the Majestic Ape. You can follow me on Twitter at the Rogue Money. Check us out at roguemoney.net. Rogue Money Facebook. If you have the Apple iPhone or Google, your Google Android devices, you get our podcast. Just type in Rogue Money, boom, we're there. If you have an iOS device, go to Apple News, pop in Rogue Money. We are the only alt news there on Apple News. So check us out, follow us, and our boys over here at Solutions Matter, Jack the Hitman Caroselli, and Robert I Spoil Movies Jones, and Saul the Pac-Man Garza, a.k.a. Doctor Who. With that being said, guys, we are over. And we're out. Take it away, CJ.